One of the most surprising outcomes from this week's sorry saga, the European Union has gained a new cult hero. He's Guy Verhofstadt, and he's emerged as an unlikely internet celebrity after delivering probably the most impassioned speech that the European Parliament has seen for some time. Politico called him a political rock star in an article entitled V for Verhofstadt. Before becoming an internet celebrity, he began his week speaking to me on this programme, where he called for action from the Greek government.
And what Greece needs is not cuts in the wages of the people, in the pensions of the people. What Greece needs is to end the clientelistic system that exists in the country, to end the corruption, to downsize the public sector, to open a number of markets who are not open. That is what we need. And I have my doubts if Mr. Tsipras, who is in fact the leader of a leftist government, is capable to come forward with such in-depth reforms we desperately need.
Now, Wednesday's speech was where things went viral. His 7-minute address directly to Alexis Tsipras has been viewed several million times on a variety of platforms in all sorts of languages, and it's been shared 85,000 times on Facebook.
Only we are sleepwalking. The last months we are running to a Brexit, I have more the impression. But it is not you and it is not we who shall pay the bill. It's going to be the ordinary Greek citizens who are going paying the bill. 80% of your people want to stay in Europe and in the Eurozone. So show what you can now and show that you're a real leader and not a false prophet. Do it!
Mr. Verhofstadt is not taking his newfound fame lightly. He tweeted, "If going viral leads to solutions, we should try it more often in Europe." I'm joined, delightedly, by the man himself, Guy Verhofstadt, President of the Alliance of Liberals and Democrats in Europe and the former Belgian Prime Minister. Sir, it is always wonderful to have you on the programme, but even you must have been surprised by the way in which your impassioned, direct appeal to Tsipras took everyone by storm.
I think it was the first time that the European Parliament was discussing the matter. It was, it's even impossible to think that, I think in the US, that you have a crisis in a big state of the US, and that for months and months and months there are meetings and negotiations and debates behind closed doors between technicians and bureaucrats, and that the Parliament, that the European democracy was not debating it. And it was the first time that it happened at our request, and I think it was a very healthy thing, not only for the European democracy, but also for Mr. Tsipras himself.
Is it your feeling that the proposals on the table tonight are good enough to continue negotiations? Or, frankly, is it time to call a spade a shovel and say it's time for divorce?
I think that a deal is going to be made tomorrow when there is the meeting of the Eurogroup, the ministers of finance of the Eurozone. I'm pretty sure about that it is the outcome of the meeting tomorrow. That said, there is a slight difference between this package and the previous package, because for the first time on a number of reforms there is more details, it is more precise. For example, on corruption, there is a whole list of measures to anti-corruption in Greece. There is also a number of measures against the privileges of small islands and of the shipping building industry. So I think there is and at the other hand, Richard, it's also a huge difference, because we are talking now about a third bailout package of 53 billion, what was not the case a few weeks ago.
But I'm going to ask every guest on the programme tonight this same question, which really comes down to, yes, you've got the reform package, but do you have confidence that the Greek government can bring it into force? They can actually implement it, because this is not about promise. This is about execution.
There are still some doubts, and I'm pretty sure that tomorrow, in the meeting of the Eurogroup, of the Ministers of Finance, there are going to be a number of these Ministers of Finance who are going to raise this question. And I think that the outcome shall be that there are going to be a number of additional guarantees asked by the other ministers to be sure that if the Greek government is not implementing this, that the European Union can come in to impose and to be sure that these reforms are implemented. That said, Richard, it's not only a question for Greece. There is also a big work to do by the European Union itself, because we cannot afford ourselves to have another Greek crisis within 6 months and another Portuguese crisis within 1 year and a Spanish crisis within 3 years. We need to have a stable system in the currency union, and we have also to manage in common or excessive debt in Europe.
Guy Verhofstadt, we're just delighted that we've had the political rock star from the European Parliament on our programme. Twice in a week, sir. Thank you very much. Have a good weekend.
With pleasure.